Hey, Flipside, I just want to say thanks for joining us on Sunday. It was good for us to have the opportunity to be together. It was very different. It was different for you, I'm sure. It was very different for me. But I was proud of the effort the team put together and at least giving us the opportunity. Wasn't as pleased with the outcome as far as the video and the audio quality. So we've got some stuff coming in this week. We're going to be working all day tomorrow, especially on showing some things up. The services this coming Sunday will be very different, and my expectation is a much better quality of production. So I'm excited about that. But I want to let you know, too, that on Sunday, we're going to do one service at 10 o'clock. This last Sunday, I want to keep things as normal as possible, 9 and 10:30. But we don't see the need to do two services, streaming both. We're going to stream one at 10 o'clock. So get on our website Sunday morning, spread the word, not the virus, about what we're doing at 10 o'clock this coming Sunday. I'm excited about what's coming up. Two things I want to encourage you about as we continue in this kind of self-hunkering down deal. One, keep things as normal as possible. Get up like you would get up, going to work. And we sleep in a little bit. Don't get crazy, but just keep a normal routine. Keep things as regular as possible, especially if you got little ones in the house. Keep them scheduled. Keep them on a schedule. They need structure. They need routine. Give them chores to do. Give them work to do from their homework packets. And then send them outside for recess for a while. I mean, whatever you got to do to keep it normal. I'm down here at church. I'm here all the time. I'm here every day. Because it's my normalist. I got my coffee. Office coffee. Fantastic. It's just as normal as possible. So the other thing is, though, while keeping things as normal as possible, add some fun things. Like for our family, we took all 7 evenings, and everybody is in charge of a dinner, making dinner, and serving it to the family one evening each week. So I think tonight is Caleb. I might be Thursday. Wyatt might be Tuesday. I forgot. But anyway, we all have a night. And so it'll be fun. We got free reign at anything in the kitchen. And you can make whatever you want. And we'll just eat it and enjoy it. And have fun just doing something different and fun. I mean, you got to be together. Might as well make it fun. But I was thinking as well this morning about the perspective going into this next week of more social distancing, of more kind of self-quarantining, whatever it is we're calling this thing we're in now. And I thought there's 2 perspectives we can have going into this, not knowing how long we're going to be in it. This is a new normal for now, so what are our perspectives going in? And I thought, I opened up my Bible again, and I thought, okay, I need to search this, and I saw 2 different perspectives you can have in the midst of a crisis or a difficulty. One of them comes from Exodus 4, and one of them comes from Daniel 3. And they're the perspectives of what if and of even if. Pretty closely related to each other, but vastly different. What if and even if. In Exodus 4, God had heard the cries of his people, had been as slaves in Egypt, and God had determined, okay, now it's time to get you out. You've been in a tough spot. I'm going to deliver you now. And so he goes to Moses, says, Moses, I want you to go to the elders of Israel, go to the Pharaoh himself, and tell him it's time for my people to go. And God says this. He says, I'll make the Egyptians favorably disposed towards y'all, so that when you leave, you'll not go out empty-handed. Every woman is to ask her neighbor and any woman living in her house for articles of silver and gold and for clothing, which you will put on your sons and daughters, and so you will plunder the Egyptians. So God says, look, I'm going to get you out now. It's time for you to move on. We're going to get past this. And not only am I going to get you out, I'm going to give you more than what you went in with. And I love that about God. He says, not only am I going to deliver you, I'm going to bless you. And you're going to get out of this with more than what you went into it with. That's an awesome promise. And so Moses, being in that moment with God, considers it all. And he says in Exodus 4, verse 1, Moses answered, well, what if? What if they don't believe me? He just gets this promise from God that I'm going to get you out of this crisis you're in. And I'm going to get everybody else out with you. And I'm going to bless you. And And I'm going to give you more coming out of it than what you had when you went into it. And his perspective was, well, what if? What if it doesn't work? What if you don't? What if they don't? What if? And that's one of the perspectives we can have when we're going through difficulty and crisis, and the perspective of what if? Well, what if? What if this goes on not just another week? What if this goes on another month? What if this goes on through the summer? What if I get infected? What if? You never know. What if? The what ifs are driven by fear. And it's hard not to live in that realm of the what ifs. But it's a perspective that a lot of people have. And the problem is, once you get into the what ifs, it's hard to get out of the what ifs. And so, don't let yourself get to the what ifs, because the what ifs are going to rob you of joy. The what ifs are going to rob you of hope. The what ifs are going to rob you of a future. The what ifs are going to take over and hijack your perspective. The what ifs are going to override everything that you believe, that you had to believe, that you used to believe, that God said. So don't let the what ifs win. Now, the other perspective, rather than the what ifs, in Daniel 3, Daniel has the record of three young men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And the King Nebuchadnezzar, they were in captivity in Babylon, and King Nebuchadnezzar said, y'all got to bow down to this big gold statue I'm going to put up. And these three young men believed in God, and they said, we're not going to bow down to nothing. And so he said, well, y'all going to suffer for that, then I'm going to throw you in a furnace. And so this was their response. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, this is Daniel 3, verse 16, replied to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we don't need to defend ourselves before you in this matter. We don't need to get worked up about what you say, like this crisis right now. It's not in control. We're going to defend ourselves before you. I don't owe you an explanation. I don't owe you nothing. In verse 17, if we're thrown in the blazing furnace, the God we serve is able to save us from it, and he'll rescue us from your hand. He's like they speak in faith. The God will take care of us. But I love verse 18. But even if he does not, that's the difference. Moses said, what if these guys said, even if? Even if he doesn't. They say, we want you to know, O king, we'll not serve your gods or worship the image of gold you set up. So we believe it will, but even if he doesn't, we're not going to let the decisions of those around us and the context of those around us determine our response. And so they throw them in. The Bible says they throw them in. The three guys. And Nebuchadnezzar watching this happen. And in verse 26, he said, Nebuchadnezzar then approached the opening of the blazing furnace and shouted, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, servants of the Most High God, come out, come up here. What did he see? He saw in the furnace not just three guys, but a fourth. Someone, in his words, that looked like a son of the gods. It was Jesus. The pre-incarnate, the pre-body Jesus, who was there with them in it. And that's one reason Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego could say, but even if, because we know Jesus is with us, and even in this crisis, we believe that God's going to watch over us, take care of us. But even if, Jesus is with us. And I love the thing that it says in verse 28. The king says that these guys were willing to give up their lives rather than serve or worship any God except their own God. So in our context, I read that and see, we're not even going to serve the God of fear and worry. Fear and worry is a real God. The Bible says God hasn't given us a spirit of fear. That means fear and worry is a spirit. And we're not going to serve that spirit. And because they didn't serve that other God, in their context, the gold statue, in our context, the God of worry, the God of fear. Verse 30 says, the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the province of Babylon. This is always what happens. You put God first, he takes care of the promotion. And so the two perspectives going into this next week now, you choose to have. Are you going to be a person of perspective of the what if or of the even if? It's your choice. I encourage you to be an even if person, not a what if. There's enough what if people out there. What if people out there, boy, they just make things worse. Don't listen to them. Be an even if person. We trust God. He's going to get us through. He's going to protect his people. He's going to intervene for the whole world's behalf. But even if, we're not changing what we believe, we're not changing what we do, we're not changing our trust. in this God who loves us and this Jesus who's with us. So choose that perspective. Which one will you be? I encourage you to be even if. All right. We'll talk to you later. Bye.